Instagram, YouTube, Zoom, TikTok. I'm Yogi Chris, PhD, founder of Ninth Limb Yoga, captain, running, operating, what do you call it? Acting captain of IMC Nation, acting captain. And I'm talking to you about the Beast process today, which is one of the main pillars, main teachings, main innovations that AZD brings to the world. If you were like a scholar, like I'm a PhD, right? You have to create science and add to the pool of science out there. It has to be peer reviewed by other top scientists or regarded scientists. They became regarded scientists by themselves being peer reviewed and challenged and accepted into the scientific community because they defeated all questions and interrogations about their new innovation to science. And then on and on. It's a lineage of scientists that get approved through the school system, which is totally conditioned and indoctrinated or whatever. But at the time, that's what it was. It'd be like somebody getting an ultra black belt in Taekwondo, not realizing that Taekwondo, how much you're going to use that versus jujitsu or boxing. But in this system, AZD, if I was going to say some of his main inventions or innovations for the world, it would be the Beast process is definitely at the top of the list. And the Beast process has a bunch of other smaller innovations in it, has to do with using imagination, becoming a modern stoic, and really realizing that at the end of the day, all roads point back to the fact that he's the top player on earth. Most relationships with the most authentic relationships with tens and nine and a halves, if you want to look at it that way, and all known about each other, harmony, just a grassroots guy, man. I mean, I'm from middle America, like just Oklahoma, right? And it's just, might as well be just a country boy. It's just a country guy that has nine hot girlfriends and everybody knows about everything and he lives a player's lifestyle. To do that, he's very creative in his mind, very vivid with his communication. He's very good at getting his ideas across and hearing your ideas, the ones you're saying and the ones you're thinking about, but you're not saying. He's actually very, very good at that. And that's how, I mean, it's through mental mastery that he's able to have multiple relationships. I don't really know how to say it otherwise because that does kind of simplify it to say mental mastery. You just are not measuring all the dimensions of mental mastery, like imagination, for example. So his Beast process teaches imagination, but through the routine of it. It's a routine that you do in the morning. Later, he develops the evening process for us. He already had a process, but a process meaning a way or an action, a series of actions to go through that does something. And what it does is it clears your nervous system and it clears your mind of things that are stuck to it. Experiences from earlier that day, from last week, last month, this lifetime. Depends how hard you want to push into the process, maybe other lifetimes. To get rid of buttons in you that you have that it's easy to push your button because things bother you if somebody says things like that or if they do that. If other people do shit, you get bothered all the way down to your closest girlfriend or your mom or your dad or somebody close to you can bother you a lot, where it takes you off your rhythm and you stop acting right. You start destroying your own creation. If they can do that to you, you need help, man. You got problems. And we recognized in IMC Nation that we got problems if we can be influenced so negatively by what other people do or think or say. Now that's stoicism, but now show me a stoic that can involve the beautiful woman with his stoicism. He could be a monk like that, a celibate, try to be a celibate monk. But as soon as the beautiful woman, not just some ugly woman, but as the beautiful woman enters his life and shows love and admiration and then starts pushing and pulling the way that women do, you'll see his stoicism. And you'll see it's just, he's a talking head. He's not embodied stoicism. So it's not about being a stoic. It's about there's the path of the player, AZD, the player who with grassroots income can dominate, shows us that anybody can dominate the game for many years. He's had multiple relationships for over a decade and a half. That's a long time to hold down multiple relationships that are gorgeous and have so many other women that have come and gone over, so many relationships, legitimate girlfriends he's had, and still to this day, there's many. You can see his YouTube streams or whatever, he shouts it out. It's over eight. Girlfriends, legit girlfriends. So it starts with the Beast process. if you're going to point somewhere that it starts, it could start anywhere. Whatever your access point to the tech is what he's teaching, is that's a good enough access point. But if we were going to structure nothing more important than the other thing, because if I say that the beast process is kind of first in line because the other stuff is more advanced, you might think that beast process is primitive. But if I said the beast process is the foundation of the house or the castle or the pyramid, you need to have a good foundation if you're going to build a big structure on it. Is it more important than the capstone? Is it more important than the pole at the top or whatever's at the top? That top wouldn't exist without the foundation, even though it needs to be laid first. So you got to go through the beast process first. You don't have to, but if we're talking the numbers of people and who does better learning from AZD, it's the people that have a tight beast process because they went through that training. They saw the videos, they applied it to their life, they did it, and they made themselves stronger. You can change. You can change your character. You just have to evaluate your life from outside of your just two eyes, like out look at yourself. And you have to look at yourself through exertion and through trying situations, which at the very least, if you have no girlfriends and no trying situations because you just live like a hermit, exerting discipline on yourself, waking up when you're tired, taking a cold shower when you don't want to, watching what you eat when you just want to eat that other thing that's easier. All those moments of discipline, self-discipline, are exertions. They're moments to see your complaint because you'll induce a complaint in your own mind. And then you reshape your character. That's the he shows how to do that. I'm just awakening the moments that, obviously if she breaks your heart or, some shit happens to do business to your house or something like those are obviously big moments. Dad dies or something like, whoa, dude, you'll see how weak your practice was when that inevitability happens. So we practice daily with this process that's tried and true from behind bars to some of the highest levels of mental mastery and self-evolution, athleticism, all that stuff put together, stoicism. So it's a monk, imaginative monk, warrior, prisoner. Because seeing your life on Earth as a prison sentence is more sane, actually. Life on Earth seems to fall into place better if you think of it as you're a prisoner. And isn't that interesting when you put the right lens on something and it comes into focus? Are we prisoners on Earth? I don't know. You try to get out. You try to get out of your country. You try to get out of taxes. You try to get off the planet. You try to escape. You're a prisoner, man. And you're treated as such. So now what are you going to do? Even though you're a prisoner, you may not care, but you still want the beautiful woman. And so you're a prisoner. Have you ever noticed that maybe prisoners have worse manners? Prisoners prisoners may have worse grooming, worse hygiene. They maybe don't have access to it, but are they really maxing out what they can do? Maybe, maybe. It's definitely possible to lower certain standards of conduct there that wouldn't work on the outside. So as prisoners, we may be acting a little bit more savage than we would if we were in our regal, elevated, natural state, as like, living to be 800 years old and the air, water, and soil not being tampered with and blah, 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 all that stuff. So for right now, we have an 80-year life sentence or whatever, and we want the beautiful woman, but we've acquired a whole bunch of bad habits that makes us a slave to her. She has all these bad habits that makes her a slave to the state by denying man's assistance and falling in line under a chosen man. She relies on the government. She's a slave to the government. Man wants to be free of the government. He'll fight the government, but he'll accept the government in the name of her. So it's all backwards. The prisoners have been conditioned to keep their imprisonment, keep their chains on. And AZD comes along with a process that gives you that model to work with and gives you a system of exercises and journaling and scheduling and everything that frees you of it. But here's the catch. It'll make you a better player and a more attractive man to women. Why? It's not just like Wes Watson, get on some calisthenics. It's not just like David Goggins, push yourself hard and have an unbreakable mindset physically. It's not just be able to talk clever quotes that, kind of instill a moment of pause. Like you hear a good stoic or a good philosophical quote and just kind of pause. You're like, that's beautiful. But like, how long is that going to last? What happens when show me philosophy manifest in troubling situations? And really, you don't have trouble outside of like life-threatening situations. You don't have trouble if it's not with a beautiful woman. You'll overcome all that other shit. It's the beautiful woman that you try to keep, and then she's just losing attraction for you. What do? You be a beast. She'll have a real hard time leaving the beast. The way AZD defines and teaches it. And that's the system. It's a way of being that he has distilled, like that means like concentrated or boiled off, you know, all the impurities so that only the pure water boils and then you concentrate it again. It's pure water. It's been distilled of all its impurities. He's distilled the character of a man that's irresistibly attractive to women. That's why he has nine girlfriends and a line out the door beyond nine. It's a way of communicating that's beyond just one-on-one with the woman. It's a way of communicating with the woman so that from any angle, from any distance, close or far, if you were watching his interaction with the woman and you were a woman, you'd be attracted. It's attractive from every angle, not just the intimate conversation, not just the text behind the scenes, not just the gifts, not just the car ride or the vacation you took. It's at every moment, any moment. I don't know, I don't think you'll get the weight of it, but at any and every moment, from any and every angle, it's attractive. And that is his manifestation of the beast. And the beast is just it's how he defines it, because you could a lot of different people from a lot of different schools of thought will use the word beast and it has all kinds of connotations, and you just got to let all those go for to understand AZD's beast process. It's not that stuff. It's its own thing. Similarities. I mean, it's be a beast, be an animal. Like there's some of that in it, but it's the way AZD is, bros. He has nine like I gotta keep saying that, and he's had multiple girlfriends, at least five for the whole time I've known him, except for at one point in the very beginning, it was down to two and then it jumped right back up because it was at six, and then that's when Zapar came in the picture because he was like losing his mind is so much, but he was really just purging. In my opinion, he was purging negativity. He was purging defiance and evil around him, and the girls had to go, and two stuck around, and those are the two. They're still around, 16 and 19 years. It's amazing. They're still as beautiful or more beautiful than ever, and other girls, and I've just seen so many. Like he's the real deal, guys, and he's doing it through handling his own mind and emotions while he lives, runs business, martial arts, coaches guys, this and that, then hangs out with girlfriend, all the time. Meanwhile, handling business, coaching guys, you got to stay stable, sane and stable, and innovating because it's old hat. I've been studying him for 10 years. You know how hard it is to find a teacher that you can learn from for 10 years? You'll learn from someone for like 3 months, 6 months, 2 weeks, 2 years. How long are you going to have the same main teacher for? That's called a master. So far ahead that he's getting further ahead as I catch up. It's like following somebody going at warp speed or something. So I am a testament of that. I'm a PhD. I was a state champion wrestler and All-American. Wrestled at Division I university alongside Olympians, Olympic gold medalists. PhD obviously accomplished some other things. I built a yoga brand. Where'd that come from? Yoga. Built a yoga brand, traveled the US for 3 years, taught in like 30 something states. I lived a rock star yoga life right before COVID. Like I'm not a nobody. I could be a somebody in everything I was doing. At wrestling, I capped out and I was young and immature. I would have become a coach and a good coach because I am a good coach. In the PhD, I would have done well had I joined government, whatever, or been a professor. I'd be a totally different character, way worse, way like just I would have sucked really bad. I would have been a typical storyline. I would have been a great typical storyline. Like the most alpha beta. I'd be like the top beta. I'd be one of the top betas. I'd be great beta. And then I found game, and I found the greatest teacher on earth. And being alongside him, I've seen things witnessed things and been part of things that are rock star, man. From where I was in the social hierarchy and my ability to interact and entertain and seduce a beautiful woman, I am a superhero compared to what I was. And I would have never made it here just on my own trajectory. You pay to learn the game. I paid to learn the game. The social hacks, the communications, the mental hacks, how to overcome, and then ultimately a process to keep evolving yourself 24/7. So it's not just you show up to class and you take notes and then maybe there's a technique that you practice later. It's a 24/7 process that ultimately you learn from AZD's Beast process. That's a curriculum that's laid out on imcbase1.com. I've taken the time to write it up. Simba's put it in the website. The whole beast process there with description and duration and all the details you need to know about it, plus what I'm saying right here about it. I mean, this would be a great video till I can bet on that, but I don't know if I'll do that. It's not a bad idea, actually. I'm gonna send him this YouTube video and say embed this on the page. So I'll say a little bit about it. I don't know if it'll ever, if a viewer gets to this part. The Beast package is split into two. There's the original Beast bundle, and that's the morning process, evening process, the stoicism, the exercise, the mindset about the origins of it, and it's a best of. It's a compilation of a lot of camps put together in one bundle, organized by Jordan Damari, who lives here in Eden, Las Vegas. It's a great, great product. A lot of guys are working, especially foreigners, because a lot of Americans they're too busy. They don't want to change around their morning routine. You think your habits are gonna they foretell your destiny. And whatever you think your habits are, they're definitely not the habits of a player. I'm telling you, the number one player on earth who's a warrior, a mindset master, an influence specialist, a warrior, a fighter, a warrior, confronting evil, who's a philosopher, and very poetic when he speaks. He doesn't write down poetry like that. He has written a few things, but it's just a communicator, a warrior and a communicator. And all the bells and whistles that come with that. You got to be master of your mind to do that well, obviously, but a warrior and a communicator. And his process that he does will mold you into a version of him, like your own version of a shape-shifting urban warrior fighting stoic monk beast. All that shit. That's the AZD Beast process. imcbase1.com. Advanced. Beast. Then you'll see the details. All right. What do you guys think about all that? I've been talking. Hmm. I'll make sure, look it up after live. Oh yeah, what's up, man? Yeah, and I mean for you because you studied RSD, I think we called the other day. I think you had skepticism, if I remember correctly. You had skepticism like AZD are their girlfriends like personal assistants or hired assistants or something. If I'm not mistaken, it might be another guy, but I think it was you for my newsletter. Uh yeah. I would not study anything from AZD if you really think that, because you're confused. You need to either confront that you don't actually believe that, and that's why you're going to study him, or confront that you're some kind of like perverse hater that's just looking for evidence to validate your claim or something. And if it's not you, then it's not you. If the shoe doesn't fit, then don't wear it, of course. Uh, but it's as legit comes, bro. As legit comes. It could not be more legit. There is no level of legitness more than AZD's relationships when it comes to relationships. Say what you will about his communication style with them and his game with them and whatever, but these are real people that are really in love with each other and really having relationships and really multiple relationships, and it's really, really, really all the way across. It's really a tattoo shop. It's really their names are tattooed, or his name is tattooed on them. So many of his girlfriends. It really is what it is. It is they have to handle their families about multiple girlfriends. It is that, there's a lot like it is. The people around the girls have problems with them being with a man that has eight other girlfriends or whatever. Like it is. You actually have to handle that and not lose the girl in the process, but not lose your dignity in the process. Meanwhile, keep the other girls and game other girls and teach your students, blah, 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 blah. How do you keep sane and solid and growing? And because he has to stay innovating, man, to stay ahead. Oh, yeah. We were just talking about you studying with a Tai Chi master, this and that. Man, how long are you going to study with the same Tai Chi master? 10 years? At some point, Okay, his Tai Chi is masterful. But if you're going to learn from him for 10, 15, 20 years, you better admire his relationships with women because are you not also learning life from that guy? You're learning life from somebody. So I studied from different yoga teachers for 2 months, 3 months, a month, a couple years on and off, this and that. And they were great, essential for my journey. Different professors, even different wrestling coaches. So I'm aware of how rare it is to find someone so masterful that not only you want to learn their skill and trade, but you also want to learn their life because their life is what manifests as their skill and trade, their habits. But at the end of the day, every man is looking for the right woman or women, really. Effortless, unfolding relationships, beautiful, evolutionary. They want to grow. You want to grow your power, your influence, empire building. How far, what direction do you want to take it? Anything you want. And so you're going to either deny yourself that dream and goal, or you're going to find another master because that master couldn't teach you that. And so a lot of masters come across AZD because he's found the the common denominator of why you're trying to be the best. You want women. Can you admit it to yourself? You're trying to be the best at whatever you're trying to do because you want the best women you can get. You want a fulfilling lifestyle, you want to enjoy yourself, this and that, that and this. And then at the end of the day, if that doesn't result in the women that you want, would you still go that route? If you knew for certain what you're doing is not going to get you the women of your dreams, not the way you want them either, would you still go with that much zest and zeal? Maybe, but I don't think it's really real to you if that's the case. Because I was going for PhD, I was going for yoga master. And then when I came across game and I realized that, man, neither of these other subjects are going to get me there because the people I'm learning from don't know anything about women. They can't get me anywhere with women. I'm modeling them, I'm becoming like them by studying them and being so close to them and working their lifestyle and schedule. So I just had to come to the realization more and more and more that who am I learning from and what's their results? And AZD's results is bar none, second to none. So yes, the beast process will teach you a lot of game, especially relationship game, because at the time it was during COVID, so there wasn't picking up girls. It was relationships, a little bit of Instagram game and things like that is in there, how to game as a stoic. But it's a lot of seduction and relation. Actually, that's really good for your condition. You were telling me about the girl that you're dating. So that's actually exactly what it is. But it's a morning discipline that'll make you tired, man. It'll make you sore, but you'll be a beast, bro. If you think, but you'll see it's not aggressive. It's very stoic. He'll make you into a stoic beast, bro. If you do it. But it's like I said, it's 1500, bro. So I don't know where you're at with that. Klarna, credit cards, loan, that's the thing to do. He's definitely not a player, but his chi energy is beyond. That's why I need so many teachers. That's why I need to learn AZD. Yeah, AZD is just that. He's that teacher for game. There's nobody else that can teach that subject. Maybe there's a handful of Tai Chi masters, but there's nobody. There's pickup gurus that can get hot chicks, but nobody can teach you game that gets fulfilling multiple relationships with beautiful women. Add all those ingredients. Do you want multiple relationships? Probably. Do you want beautiful relationships? Probably. Do you want fulfilling relationships? Probably. Did you know that you can have multiple relationships and they're not fulfilling? Did you know that you could have a beautiful woman but not multiple women? Did you know you could have a fulfilling relationship but it's not beautiful and there's not multiple? If you have two of those, if you have fulfilling and beautiful but not multiple, okay, well, you're fulfilled, but how long? It's fulfilling now. AZD has shown that the only way to keep a 10 is to keep getting more 10s. The only way. And then look around at how long everybody else is able to keep a 10. So it's fulfilling for the time being. It has an expiration date. Multiple women make the relationship last longer if you're doing it in a pure alpha way, pure nature, which is what AZD is teaching is natural game. So beast process all the way, that's what that is. Yeah, specifically with women. Oh wait, I've been talking a lot of ladies lately. Can you talk about enduring failures and how to break through? Well, that's the beast process, man. I mean, you got to be a beast. I'm telling you, man, it's a way of tapping in to a nature in you that is so under and beyond that storyline. The way he teaches the beast process, you'll take control of the pen. Okay. So I'll show you guys. I can only show two cameras at a time here. But this is the beast coat of arms. When you learn the beast process, this will be decoded for you. All the symbols mean something, and right there is the symbol of the pen. The pen is a reminder for the inner dialogue and the stories we tell ourselves. And he shows ways to rewrite the story for yourself. You don't need therapy. You don't need anything like that. You don't need another person. You can fix it. You just need a pen and paper, stoicism, and the process, the way he teaches it. So, overcoming for failures and shit like that, I mean, those are character flaws because they're not really failures. It's an illusion, it's an appearance. So you could think of it as NLP and reframing things. The problem is that's a purely mental experience. It's ungrounded. So that's why NLP masters are fat and sloppy and still don't get women. They're all influential and whatever, but they're ungrounded. You need to be a beast about it. And it's not going to be studying NLP and then going and exercising. That'll do something, and that's not bad. If you didn't have a process, then that's pretty good for normal people on Earth. But you have AZD, the top player that ever lived in recorded history. And I mean, to defeat AZD in history, you have to go with Solomon or Genghis Khan or Caesar or something, some emperor that held a lot of like violent power. But a player, as far as players in recorded history, I don't see any recording of anybody anywhere that's better than AZD. And so he has a process. Imagine how many failures and rejections he's had to go through. He developed the beast process when one of the bitches left and cheated on him in a bunch of ways, and it was fucking, she was obviously very traumatized, this and that. He ended up accepting her back, and it was a fruitful relationship. But uh at that time there was a lot of heartache and then holding other relationships and then some other relationship drama happened, hospitalization and illness and just bankruptcy and shit. Like a lot of drama that'll make you go dark as a man, and he had to handle himself. That's the beast process. That's when he came out with it. So, best advice is for a question like that, learn from AZD, man. It's $1,497 is the Beast Phase 1 bundle. Get it on Klarna, it's zero down and $150 next month. You pay $150 and you have the tech, 80 hours of content that you watch, and immediately off the first lecture, you'll have it to apply the next morning. And then you just keep watching and building your process and then do it and then watch how you change. Within a week, you'll be different. A month, you'll be very different. Within 2 to 3 months, you'll be a beast. Total beast through and through. If you do it. I did it. I did it for many more months than that. And I still do it. Now I do it. It's evolved. It changes, but I have it as a structure. So that's the best way to home practice yourself into an AZD player lifestyle. It transcends learning game because you, as a beast, will be a very naturally seductive man. It'll just be effortless, bro. Being a beast is the best because it's free. I mean, you pay for the training, but once you have it, it's just home stuff. You're the prisoner, man. And there's a reason why inmates get multiple women and they get fine bitches. And you'll turn into that kind of guy, but on the outside. Not a criminal at all, just a stoic warrior beast. Okay, everybody? I'll see you on the next one. Os.